A very warm welcome to the news feed this Sunday, the 6th day of November 2022. You're just in time for the lunchtime news. We have so much lined up for you. Among them is President William Ruto's trip to Egypt, where he is expected to jet out of the country today to attend the 27th United Nations Climate Change Convention, dubbed Conference of Parties COP27. We'll also be taking a look into the Kenya Airlines Pilot Association industrial action, which commenced on the 5th of November, with Kenya Airways management stating the strike action will cost Kenya Airways approximately 300 million shillings per day. Our very own Mike Agwongo is on ground and will be joining us live with the latest developments. Remember, you can always interact with us on our social media platforms indicated at the bottom of your screen, and also on my personal handle at Moige William across all social media platforms. My name is Moige William. I trust you are doing well. Welcome to the broadcast. Now, on to our top story today. Welcome. On to our top story is whereby a section of passengers who had booked for flights with the Kenya Airways, that is KQ, this morning transferred to different destinations, even as the Kenya airline pilots called for even as Kenya Airways transferred these particular flights, whereby a dozen of flights were disrupted at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in Nairobi and also Mombasa and Kisumu after KQ went on strike yesterday. Mike is at the JKIA. Let's cross over and hear what he has for us. Over to you, Mike.
Yes, thank you so much, Moige William. Indeed, I can get you loud and clear from Jomo Kenyatta International Airport here in Nairobi. We arrived here very early in the morning to showcase and maybe look at spot check on what's happening since yesterday, as Kenyan pilots went on a strike, just to claiming that there are some, maybe among other reasons as to why they were denied maybe a rise at their own salaries. So we have been here since this morning at but just about a few minutes ago, about 20 minutes ago, we received a statement from the KQ itself saying that about 6 flights were scheduled to take off today, one of them being Nairobi to Entebbe, that actually was scheduled to depart from JKIA at 12:45. It has already departed like about 15 minutes ago, and we were trying our best to get into the JKIA where the flight was indeed trying to was leaving from, but unfortunately it was too late for us to get the flight itself when it was leaving. But we also have another flight that has been scheduled to leave Jomo Kenyatta International Airport at 1:30 that will be heading to Mombasa from here in Nairobi. But as I mentioned, a total of about 6 flights have been scheduled to take place or to take place this evening. Now, Entebbe to Nairobi, that is scheduled at 2:45 p.m. from Entebbe to Nairobi. There is another flight that is scheduled from Nairobi to Mombasa at 1:30 p.m. Maybe we'll be trying our best to catch up with it and maybe showcase what will be happening by then. Then there is this flight that will be leaving Mombasa to Nairobi at 3:30 p.m. Maybe from Mombasa to Nairobi. There is this flight that is scheduled to depart from Nairobi to Lusaka at 5 p.m. and then there is this another one will be leaving from Nairobi to Lusaka at 8:20 p.m. What does this mean, Moige William? This means that temporarily these pilots have shelved their strike temporarily, because these are very few flights that have been scheduled for today and perhaps maybe tomorrow, to showcase that their strike has been sidelined for some few moments. But just to let you know is that about 10,000 passengers have been affected from this strike of KQ. About 300 188 pilots that decided to go on strike just to let the management know that their grievances needed to be listened to. As you can see, if my camera person can showcase around, these are passengers that have been stranded here. Some of them were to use the KQ flight. Some of them were to use the some of them are using the Arabian Airlines. Some of them are using Ethiopian Airlines. But the most important thing is that I've spoken to some few passengers this morning, and they told me that they have been transferred to other flights just to make sure that they reach to their destinations. And I talked to a passenger who told me that she received an apology letter from KQ itself, asking her to forgive the KQ since they had delayed her flight to Ethiopia, but they had changed their flight from KQ to Ethiopian Airlines. So this means that some of them have been transferred to other airlines and others have been transferred to Air Arabia Airline just to make sure that they arrive to their destination, since it was the KQ itself, it inconvenienced their passengers. So it's since been apologetic to its passengers, the KQ itself, since they inconvenienced their passengers without even notice. But we are yet to understand or to know how the management will be saying after they are out of the meeting, the internal meeting they are in at this moment. But when they are out, maybe the Secretary General will be briefing the media as to the outcome of this meeting. What is the happening as at now? Maybe those that were claiming yesterday that they were not noticed, were they taken to a hotel? Were they transferred to other flights? And what happened after they were transferred to other flights? Or maybe they were given the hotels, because he was claiming that the hotels were full here in Nairobi. Maybe they were taken to other hotels outside Nairobi, or they were left to stay here. But we'll be waiting in a few moments to hear from the Secretary General after they complete their meeting, the internal meeting that is ongoing as at now. So we are keeping tab here at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport to follow one-on-one on what's happening, and we'll be bringing to our viewers in our subsequent bulletins this evening, perhaps at 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. on what unfolds from this evening. Back to you, Moige William.
Well, thank you, Mike, for that update. And moving on is that President William Ruto is expected to deliver an address on behalf of the continent as the chair of the Committee of African Heads of State and Government on Climate Change at the 27th United Nations Climate Change Convention, COP27, which is to be held in Egypt from the 6th to the 18th of this month. And according to a statement by State House spokesperson Hussein Mohamed, President Ruto is said to jet out of the country today, Sunday, for the conference to be held in Sharm el-Sheikh city. Ruto will also be leading the Kenyan delegation in highlighting the effects of the drought in the country and the measures in place to mitigate the crisis. And elsewhere, leaders drawn from Mbeere in Embu County have decried segregation and abandonment by the national and county governments in the recent appointments of public servants. Speaking during the distribution of relief food at Iriamurai Primary School in Mbeere South, the leaders noted that the Mbeere community should have at least a cabinet administrative secretary in efforts to fight marginalization. The leaders noted that there was no representative from the Mbeere community, despite a community with its own tradition, customs and beliefs. Mbeere North Member of Parliament Geoffrey Keringa said that Mbeere was among the 42 tribes in Kenya and therefore will have been given a slot among the 51 principal secretaries who are expected to be vetted by Parliament.
Wanasiasa tunasema watu wa Mbeere South sana sana tumenyimwa appointment, kusema kweli. Na nikiongea Mbeere South hata niseme Mbeere wa Mbeere South analia. Kwa sababu hana mtu mwingine wa kumsaidia. Wakati huu ni Engineer Muriuki ndiye anaambiwa asaidie watu wa Mbeere South. Hii sauti nimepeleka mpaka kwa Ruto. Naambia akumbuke watu wa Mbeere South, nimepeleka kwa Gachagua, akumbuke watu wa Mbeere South, na bado tunangoja.
Tumepewa kazi na wananchi. Jamani, na ni kazi ngumu. Mr. President, you know you are my good friend from 2011 up to date. Actually, I was the first politician to invite you in this round of Mbeere. In the year 2011, when you were sacked by Raila Odinga from the Ministry of Education, I stood with you, Mr. President, all the way without turning back up to now. That the loyalty of the people of Mbeere cannot be questioned.
And now to Busia County, whereby fish traders at the Busia Fish Transshipment Market are counting losses following rampant fish hawking in Busia town and its environs by Ugandans, saying their businesses' ventures are at stake. The traders, through their leadership led by Chairperson Francis Akech, are now appealing to both the national and the county government of Busia to intervene, even as they express fear of contracting Ebola from the Ugandan hawkers. According to Rose Atayo, who is a dry fish monger at the 200 million modern market, hawking and scarcity of fish have made it difficult for her to service her loan.
Tunalipa ushuru katika isoko. Na kuna watu wenye wanatoa samaki Uganda, fresh fish wanatoa Uganda na wanatembeza kwa kila mlango. Wale watu wako katika isoko wenye wanalipa ushuru, saa hii hawawezi kujimudu. Unajua sheria ya public health hairuhusu mtu kubeba samaki kwa kichwa kwenda kuuza kwa mlango za kwa estate.
Sisi kitu ambacho tunaomba administration ama office ya county commissioner na office ya governor watusaidie. Na hao watu hata hawapimwi, hawana zile barua za public health. Wengine wanachangia hata kuleta magonjwa hapa Kenya.
Na tulichukua maloni pia tukijua biashara itakuwa. Na biashara saa hii imedidimia kabisa. Hata paka kwa barini pia. Barini pia watu walienda huko wengi na samaki sasa ni chache.
And now to matters wildlife. The Cabinet Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, Penina Malonza, has assured Kenyans that the government is set to compensate those who were injured by wild animals up to the tune of 2.6 billion shillings. Malonza, who spoke at Katse Market when distributing relief food to locals across Kitui County, said she has written to the National Assembly for the approval of 2.6 billion shillings compensation to families of those who lost their lives following the conflict. Present at the event were Kitui County Commissioner Erastus Mbowe, Kitui Deputy Governor Wambua Kanani, and Area MCA Titus Kasinga, among other leaders.
Hii peke yake tumeweza kushughulika katika zile deni zetu tuko nazo za bilioni 5 ya wale wajaweza kulipwa kutokana na kuadhiriwa kwao na wanyama mwitu. Wiki hii peke yake tumeweza kuangalia na tukatafuta fedha bilioni 2.66 ili tuweze kulipa baadhi ya cases 2663, na hivyo tunangojea bunge letu la kitaifa ikapitishe na watu wetu wakaweze kulipwa. Kwa yale mengine ningependa kusema nitashirikiana pamoja na wale viongozi wetu ambao mmewachagua hapa Kitui ili tukaweze kufanya kazi pamoja kwa ajili ya watu wa Kitui na watu wa Kenya mzima.
The Director of Public Prosecution, Rudin Haji, while launching a publication geared towards enhancing good practice in preventing and countering violent extremism in the country, said it will serve as a roadmap in the fight against terrorism in the country and a point of reference for criminal justice agency in the region. Nurdin noted the document is aimed at advocating for a human rights-based approach to preventing and countering violent extremism. The ODPP, in partnership with Haki Africa, a human rights organization, monitored and evaluated the activities of the project, whose impact include accessibility of justice and reduction of vulnerability of individuals at the risk of crime between the month of February and March this year in Mombasa and Kilifi counties.
Different from here at the coast or the northeast or elsewhere. But as a pilot, It's not that I was favoring the cost. It's because Hussein Khalid was bold enough to come and tell me, we have this proposal, can we try and pilot it? And I think it has proved that it can work. That, as you said, justice is relative depending on where you come from and the challenges that you face on the ground. And that we don't have a fit-all solution to everywhere within the country. And I think this is a very good example that if we take a local approach to solving problems, then we can be able to solve and get good results. In democracy and in human rights, we are able then, with our heads held high, to export the good practices that we have here.
Drama erupted at Makutano police station after two men suspected of stealing livestock in Kirinyaga County voluntarily returned a cow as one suspect was handcuffed by a swarm of bees. Shocked police officers quickly called Lilian Waithera, who had on 3rd November reported the matter at the police station, who arrived and positively identified her stolen cow. Waithera and area residents were shocked to find the cow that was stolen days ago tied under a tree in the police station compound, where two men were screaming as bees continued to attack them. Waithera narrated that she decided to seek the services of a traditional medicine man from Busia, who she called and agreed to help her recover the stolen cow at a cost of 10,000 shillings after the work was done.
Walikuwa wamekuliwa na nyuki wakiwa na ng'ombe, kwa hivyo wameletwa juu ya kukuliwa na nyuki pamoja na hiyo ng'ombe, na mwenye ng'ombe alikuwa amefuata ng'ombe yake nyuma pamoja na wananchi wa Makutano. Sasa hao ndio wamejisema ama ndio wamekuja na ng'ombe kutafuta usaidizi vile wanaweza pata usaidizi. Ndio sasa waachanishwe na nyuki. Yeye wamejilete pamoja na ng'ombe. Ndio sasa vile walikuwa wanajilete wakafuatwa na wananchi. Sasa mpaka kituo cha polisi.
Nilipigia daktari. Tukaongea na daktari. Daktari akanipea dawa. Nikakuja nikaweka maana nilifunga ng'ombe yangu. Akaniambia niongoje. Sasa yeye ndiye amemaliza kazi yake. Akakuja sasa. Amemaliza. Tuliongea na yeye kwa simu. Vile tuliongea na yeye, akaniuliza nimeenda kwa polisi. Nikamwambia yeye nimeenda kwa polisi. Ndio sasa akaniambia basi niachie hiyo kazi nimalizane nao. Sasa hivyo ndio alimaliza nao. Sasa ndio mebatikana leo.
Well, now residents of Ruai in Kasarani constituency have urged investors and companies within their area to offer employment to their youths instead of outsourcing labor from other areas. Speaking during the launch of Kasarani community-based organization, Richard Mwangi, the CBO chair, said one of the reasons for creating the CBO is to help solve unemployment among the youth. So far, 20 youth have secured employment in the locality since the formation of the CBO. However, the youth are calling on the county government of Nairobi to complete construction of a street children rehabilitation center that was started by Governor Evans Kidero.
Biashara na una expect watu wa Ruai wakuja kwa biashara yako, tena wenyewe watoto wa Ruai hawa consider kwa kazi. So tumesema ni vizuri nafasi za kwanza ya investor yoyote akumbuke watoto wa Ruai na watu wa Ruai.
Hapa kulianzishwa na project zilikuwa zimelala. For example, rehabilitation center ilikuwa imejengwa hapa Ruai chini. Ilianzishwa na Kidero. Imeenda na magavana wanne, sasa tuko na magavana wanne. Ilianza na Kidero, ikaundwa, ikakuja Sonko, ikakuja Kananu, sasa tuko na gavana wanne. So tungeomba hiyo rehabilitation ianze. Kuna wale watu wamekorea katika utumizi wa madawa ya kulevya. Tungeomba serikali ya county ikuje imalize hiyo rehabilitation center vijana machokora wananyang'anya watu hapa bypass, waondolewe kwa barabara.
Ningeimiza serikali ichangie ndani sana kwa undani sana na kwa umakini. Wakuja washikane na hizi CBOs zile ziko genuine, wakuja waangalie who are the officials on the ground. Wale wanaweza wafanyia government networking ya kuweza ku-identify who are these vulnerable families. Are they okay to be given this transfer card?
And now to matters education. Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers (GOPET) has urged members of parliament to stop meddling with teachers' transfer and delocalization. GOPET Secretary General Akelo Misori says the responsibility of transfer of teachers is vested under the Teacher Service Commission, adding that teachers should work anywhere in the country. Misori says if MPs want to be helpful, they should task the government to employ more teachers and add resources in the education docket to allow for salary increments.
Transfers, it cannot be a function of parliament by all standards. It cannot be a function of parliament. And we would not wish to deal with the Teacher Service Commission, whose hands are fettered or whose functions are now taken to parliament for deliberations unless they have gone overboard. And that one now calls for the issue related to teacher delocalization as a policy. According to Employment Act, this is a national employment. A national employment authority is the Teacher Service Commission. Teachers must be employed where their services are required. Teachers are professionals, and therefore, considering their teachers as professionals and their issues being canvassed by Parliament, that Parliament is the one which is now deciding where teachers would be posted, would mean that we will be having challenges dealing with teacher management.
And now to the coastal region, Mombasa County. Mombasa County government has managed to shut down 17 out of 32 illegal dumping sites across the county in an effort to clean the city that has for years been grappling with the issues of illegal dumping of garbage. Mombasa County Chief Officer in the Department of Environment, Waste Management and Energy, Ahmed Ali, says they are currently having 17 dumping sites that is around Fahari Primary School in Tudo Ward, which they hope will be done by Monday. Area MCA Abdurrahman Hussein, who came up with the Old Town Fresh slogan, said the cleanup exercise will help the community to keep the environment clean. On the other hand, residents of Kuze area in Old Town, led by Abdul Shakur Mzee, commended the area leader and partners for introducing monthly environment cleanup exercise in Old Town.
Kwa umuhimu wa usafi na pia another importance nilivyotaja kwamba ni kwamba tunajaribu engage the youth on the importance of community volunteership.
We are very much concerned about our environment, because a clean environment means that we also do business in a good environment. So basically that's the reason we are here, to join this community so that
everybody to be involved, me and you, to make this city clean. Because the city is not about only the county government, but it's about watu wote ambao wako involved in this city.
75% za Old Town haziwaki. So tunaomba Bwana Governor mtushughulikie jambo letu la Old Town kuhusu habari ya taa na barabara, ni kitu muhimu sana.
The family of Esther Njoki, an 80-year-old grandmother from Kiamba village in Githunguri County, who was murdered at her house on 1st July this year, is questioning the slow manner in which investigations are being carried out by officers from the DCI Githunguri police station. Children of the late say the prime suspect of the murder is their former mother's farmhand, who was sacked days before the murder for stealing. Githunguri Sub-County DCI Commander Ali Kingi says the investigations are ongoing that will eventually lead to arrest of the suspects.
Na mama yangu aliaga dunia tarehe 1 mwezi wa Julai huu mwaka, na aliaga dunia kwa kutokana na jeraha zile alizopata kwa kugongwa na wakora, kupigwa na mkora ambaye alikuwa amekuja kuiba vitu kwa nyumba yake. Kufa isipokuwa ile statement sisi tuliandikisha kwa polisi, hakuna mtu mwingine ambaye ameshikwa ama ameandikisha statement kuhusiana na hiyo case. Hakuna mtu mwingine ameshikwa, lakini kuna suspect ambaye ni mfanyikazi yule alikuwa anafanya kazi hapa muda mdogo tu kabla ya hicho kitendo kutendeka, lakini alikuwa ameshafutwa na hawakuelewana vizuri na mama. Saa zile alikuwa alifutwa, alikuwa